Once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with life and chatter, a young man named Adisa fell in love with a kind-hearted woman named Simi. They were married in a joyous ceremony, and soon after, they were blessed with a beautiful daughter named Dara. Simi's life seemed complete except for one lingering curiosity. Though she had been married to Adisa for 5 years, he had never once taken her to his own town. Whenever she asked, he would gently change the subject or offer vague excuses. As the years went by and their family grew, Simi's longing to visit Adisa's village deepened. She wanted to see the place where her husband had grown up and introduce their daughter to his family. With a second child on the way, she felt it was time. Adisa, please, she pleaded one evening. I need to know your roots. I want our children to know their heritage. Adisa hesitated, but seeing the resolve in her eyes, finally agreed. Very well, he said with a sigh. We will go. A week later, the small family set out on their journey. They traveled for hours, leaving behind the noise of the city from windy dirt roads and dense forests. They decided to stay in a hotel for the night and then proceed to their destination in the morning. Morning came and the family set off for the village. As they approached the village, Simi felt a mix of excitement and unease. The villagers greeted them warmly upon arrival, speaking a language she couldn't understand. They smiled broadly, touching her shoulders and hair with what seemed like affection. Adisa assured her they are just excited to meet you. For the first 2 days, Simi tried to settle in. The family showered her with attention, bringing her gifts of food and drink, but there was something about their wide smiles that unsettled her. Something about the way their eyes lingered on her that made her heart race. She chopped it up to nerves. After all, she was in an unfamiliar place. On the third evening, as Simi sat outside watching the sunset, a young woman from the village approached her. The woman's name was Amara, and her face was marked with urgency. She knelt close to Simi and whispered, I have been watching you since you arrived. You're kind. You do not deserve what I plan to do to you. Simi's heart skipped a beat. What do you mean? She asked, her voice trembling. Amara glanced around to ensure no one was listening. This family, she said, they are not what they seem. They are cannibals. They intend to kill you tomorrow night and eat you. The words struck Simi like lightning. Her mind raced, but she forced herself to remain calm. Why are you telling me this? She asked. Because I can see you're different from the others they have brought here. You must leave tonight. Take your daughter and whatever money you can carry, but leave everything else behind. If they suspect you're fleeing, they will stop you. Do not look back. Simi felt tears welling in her eyes but nodded. Thank you, she whispered. That night, Simi pretended everything was normal. She fed Dara, put her to bed and waited until the household was silent. Then with trembling hands, she gathered her daughter, took some money and left. As she stepped outside, the village was cloaked in darkness. Guided by the faint moonlight and her pounding heart, she crept through the narrow path leading out of the village. The forest loomed ahead, vast and shadowy. Just as fear began to creep in, she spotted a timber truck parked by the roadside. The driver, a kind-looking man, was startled when she approached, but listened as she begged for help. He agreed to take her and Dara to the city. By dawn, Simi reached her father's house, exhausted but safe. She collapsed into his arms, sobbing as she recounted her harrowing ordeal. Her father vowed to protect her and her children, and together they began rebuilding their lives far from the reach of Adisa's family. When Adisa eventually came looking for her, Simi refused to see him. She could never forgive him for taking her to such a dangerous place, and she vowed to protect her children from any further harm. As the years passed, Simi's courage and the mysterious kindness of Amara became legends within her family, a tale of survival and the power of intuition. And though she never saw Adisa's family again, she carried with her a deep respect for the instincts that had saved her life. Would you have trusted Amara's warning if you were in her shoes? What do you think drove Amara to betray her own people to save Simi? Thanks for listening to this short story. Stay tuned for more intriguing stories. Bye bye for now.